Hey guys, we're back at it again. Part 2 of the start of the world's grind. I got top 4 at the 3v3 case tournament this weekend with Rescue A's. My teammates were Aaron and Zephyr. Shout out to them. They were great. I went 6-0. I only dropped 2 games the entire tournament. Where did my phone? Engage use my phone to record. Round 1, I played against Eldritch. I won 2-0. Round 2, I played against Labyrinth. I won 2-0. Round 3, I played against Pearly, and I won 2-0. Round 4, I played against Pearly, and it was Mr. Jake Moore, and he beat me in my first game, but I beat him 2-1. Round 5, I played against Despy. I beat him 2-0. And then top 8, I played against Labyrinth and beat him 2-1. So yeah, that's. I made a lot of changes, and I'll talk about if I would change anything going forward. This deck was crazy. Let's go get into the deck profile. So we play 3 Airlifter. He's the best starter. Second best starter is 3 Hydrant. These cards are crazy. Then we have 3 Impulse. This card is one of the best cards in the deck. Again, people don't really understand like how good this card is. So I just want to explain an interaction that happened. So I was playing against a Pearly opponent, and I drolled him, and in response to his Xyz effect, I used this to summon out Fire Engine from my deck. And then Fire Engine got to summon out Hydrant, and then during my draw phase, I outed his Xyz. And then the field spell had to resolve, so because it's mandatory to summon a guy out, and then Fire Engine got to summon another monster out. So a lot of people think this card is just like the draw 2, discard 1. This card is way more than that. It is also really good to use on your opponent's turn and like breaking boards, because you can like normal summon this, and then like they have to interact with it, right? Like if they have Noir or whatever, because you'll activate it and they can't activate the effects. And if they do activate the effect and target it, you can chain and summon a guy from your deck. So this card's really good at breaking boards. It's such a good card. Then we have 2 Turbulence, 2 Preventer. This is still one of the best cards in the deck, but again, drawing a lot of the big guys is how you brick. And you just don't want to draw too many of them. So 2 and 2 I think is correct. 1 Fire Attacker, 1 Fire Engine. I use Fire Engine a lot more than Fire Attacker today. This card's crazy. It's really good in the grind. It's really good extender. It's just a great card. And then in my last deck profile, I was only playing 2 of this card, but now I decided to play 3 copies of Fenrir. So one of the problems with the deck right now is if you open Airlifter as your starter and they Ash Emergency, you actually need, like, you can't do anything because you can't link this away. But if you have Fenrir, it kind of fixes that problem, but this also fixes the field spell problem against Pearly. And the card's also just great if you draw all like non-engine, so. Then we have 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Droll and Lockbirds. This is the only hand traps I play in my deck. I decided to add in a bunch of board breakers instead of hand traps. This card, I only drew 1 time or twice today, and it was crazy. And then Ash is obviously Ash, is always good. Then we go spells. I have 1 Rhoda, 3 Prosperity. I decided to cut Small World just because I felt like that I wanted to play around Droll, because Droll is so popular right now, especially in the main deck. So I decided to cut that card, and I didn't really miss it, to be honest. My deck was really consistent. I also cut 1 for 1. This is the Spice that I decided to play. Main deck 3 Book of Moon and 3 Book of Eclipse. These are crazy because turn 1, the way your opponent stops you is 2 ways. They either Ash Emergency or they Imperm Turbulence. If you open one of these, it's pretty much like a Call by the Grave for your Turbulence. Because like it's gonna resolve, because the only thing that they can stop it with is literally Imperm Revealer. So if you have one of these and you try to resolve Turbulence, you chain this, you still set 4. These cards are crazy. They're also really good. Like this card combos really well with Droll, because like you can let your opponent push, and then like you Droll them, and then they commit most of their hand to the board, you Book Eclipse them, and then they don't draw, which is really strong. Then we have the spells, 3 Emergency, 1 HQ, 1 Rescue, 1 Alert, and then the 2 traps. These are all the same. I don't play Reinforced. I just never needed it, to be honest. That's the main deck. It's 42 cards. If Airlifters will get off the table. Let's go ahead and get to my extra deck, because I actually changed a lot from my extra deck. So I still play the Link Kribo. I play Sunlight Wolf, IP, and Hida. These are all standard. This is part of my inboard turn 1 most of the time. So yeah, this card's really good. So like turn 1, I usually try to go for like blind. I try to go for this, and then like Hydra on the board, because if they enter battle phase and try to attack over this, you can use this effect and their monster can't beat over it. And then you can, like, this card's really versatile. I can make Apollo, you can make Trisbania if you play against Labyrinth or the Mirror. It's just like super versatile. So I really like this end board. Nightmare Phoenix, Heat Leo, or Heat Soul, sorry. I did not make this once again. I don't go for this turn 1, but in some matchups it's really good. Unicorn, Trisbania. I made this card a lot. I made it against Labyrinth multiple times turn 1. It's also the Eradicator target, which I still play. Access Code, Apollo. Both these cards are good. I also decided to play the Dark Fluid package. So Dark Fluid and the 2 targets. And a lot of people are doing like the Reaper Doka stuff, but I found some spice. I decided to play 1 Binary Sorceress and 1 Crystal Heart. So Binary Sorceress doesn't actually have an effect. I mean, it has an effect, but it's not a good effect. The reason that it's good is because it's an Earth Cybers monster that's generic. So basically what you do is you link away your guy for Link Karibo. Like in the normal combo, you like link away your Hydrant. You like summon Preventer, banishing your Hydrant, and then like Preventer and Turbulence turns into this, and then Preventer will summon back out your Hydrant, and then you can turn these 2 into Crystal Heart. Crystal Heart will bring back this, and then Link Karibo contribute the Hydrant for its graveyard effect, and then that makes Terahertz. But this also allows Hydrant to become a 1-card access code, which is really cool, and it gives you multiple pops, which the deck was missing anyway. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I used it a ton today. It also another thing about this card is since it's an Earth Cybers, it allows you to make Heat Soul like really easily because all your guys are like not Earth. So yeah, that's the extra deck. The side deck, I decided to respect Pearly a little bit more. I decided to side 2XC's Encore. I drew it once, it was crazy. This card's very good. I played 2 Nib. I just needed room, and I couldn't fit the third. 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies. I decided to play this over Edenleys because I really wanted my battle phase. It was really good. I drew this in top 8. My opponent judgmented it, but it didn't matter because I got rid of his judgment. He took 4,000 live points, and then I just killed him. 3 Ghost Bell. This is one of the best cards in like against Labyrinth and stuff like that. It just covers a lot of matchups. This card's really good. And then I decided to still play the 2 D-Barrier and then the 3 Eradicator. This card was just as good as it was last tournament. In top 8, I looped my opponent for 4. It's great. It's the only time I used it because I actually 2-0'd all of my opponents except for Jake Moore over there and the guy in top 8. So. All right, guys. It's been a long day. Shout out real quick. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Zephyr. They're the best teammates in the world. Shout out to Goo Gaming. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. And shout out to Card Monster Games and their new store in Lexington, Kentucky. If you're ever in the area, come by. It's a great store. Hope to see you guys at Richmond Regional next weekend. Peace.